So I don't like these, and pretty much I've had nobody step up and say, you know, I think that looks cool, and I don't think it looks cool either. So I'm going to go ahead and put some round stock in here in between. That's the way Factory 5 did their demo car, like Revs to XS says, and I like the look of that. But I want something kind of beefy, so I went and got me some 5/8 stock. Found the right angle I want, and yeah, I don't have any fancy machines, so that's what I use: tape and an eyeball, a grinder and a file. Try and get it as close as I can, and pretty much it's going to sit in there like that. I've got the one edge angled. It's not the same, it's not a square angle here like here, so. And that looks about perfect. Should be good to go. So I'll put 5 of them in here, in between there, in between here, in between there. 5 all the way down. And I'll drill it and tap it. Drill each end of it. Tap it out, and I'll be able to run a stainless bolt through the bottom, which is like I have on the rest of the carbon fiber spots. So should be good to go. And pretty much I'm going to go for it, so if that doesn't look any better, then that's the way it's going to stay. So there's what I ended up with. And it looks pretty good. I like that better, I suppose. And I'm going to go ahead and use the stainless bolts down there instead of rivets, as well as here. And that turned out pretty good. They're in there pretty straight up and down, and perpendicular, lined up. The whole works. Looks good. And I went and reworked this spot a little bit. That's a tricky spot on this car, trying to get that part right. So yeah, it's good enough. Tired of messing with it. So I got to get things cleaned up in here and reassess the situation, and figure out just exactly what else I want to do to it. Just a little bit of mud work left. One spot right there, not quite good enough. Finish up a little mud work on this. Remember, I extended those in with fiberglass a little bit, and I'm pretty much ready to clean it up, start tearing it down, give it a final look over, get the pinholes filled in, and start thinking about putting primer on it. Got a lot of stuff going on, too many projects. You can see I'm putting the pergo floor inside. My boy's working on his car. I'm trying to teach him how to do body work. He's doing good. I started a build log for that thing too. The 78 Scirocco Fastthings build log, and he's the one that's going to be doing it. you know, I gotta show him here and there. I've taught a lot of guys to do body work before, and some of them just can't do it, and for his first time, he's doing good. He's gonna get it. So that's cool. Yeah. Finishing up one of the last things I want to do before I start the primer work. These are the hatch prop device here that Shane developed. You know, I don't have a problem with the push rods that came with the kit. You know, on the Gen 1 cars, the hatch extended clear out to the back of the car. A lot of weight for those props, and people were having trouble with them. And the length of the prop, if you opened up the hatch, it wanted to overextend and drive the back of the glass into the body, which mine kind of did that too, but I just changed the position of where I mounted the thing, so it stopped short of driving that glass down in there. I got mine to work pretty good, so but I saw that Shane made these things and be a nice touch, kind of match the look of the car, you know, the rest of the aluminum pieces. So I'm going to use these. And what I've done, I took them apart, bolted them together, filed down the edges, get them, you know, 90-degree edges on them, get them symmetrical. And right now I'm in the middle of mapping out some lines on here, pretty much taking the thickness of the metal, transferring that onto the edges here, and I'm going to take 3 sections and cut those out, and I'll do the same thing to these pieces. The hinges for the hatch are kind of like that. Got the holes in them, and pretty much anytime you have a hunk of aluminum like that, you see the holes cut out in there just to kind of lighten it up. You're not taking away from the strength of the piece, as long as you keep the overall thickness of the metal. So that's what I'm up to now. I'll get those things cut out, smoothed off, and get those mounted in there. Oh yeah, I got that drilled out now. And I'm going to take a file, clean that up. So then I got the other little piece to do still. Put a couple holes in there or something. There it is. That took pretty much all day long. Lots of filing. Turned out pretty good though. I like it. Well, I think I'm done with all the body work. Time to start tearing it apart, get primer on it. Each little section will have a little bit more to do. Making sure there's no pinholes, making sure it's perfectly straight the way I want it. There's the props. installed, and I have to say that looks way better than the black push rods. And they work pretty good. I had to fine-tune mine, make a different hole, in other words, because there wasn't even pressure on each one, so I had to change it a little bit. And they work pretty good. And I was going to show a little better this section in here. And remember this is all cut out right there. So I basically made some thickness in between on the door edge, like cardboard or something. Run some tape over that, and then ran tape back to the edge on this. You kind of creatively put it in there, you know. And then this side, same thing. From that edge I brought tape back, and see how it's kind of bowed out to allow for the doors scooping it. So, you know, cut out the side of a Dixie cup or something that's got a curved edge on it, and with the door fully extended, build off, use the edge of that door as a mold to make that scoop piece inside there. You know, have the backside prepped out before you even begin, and then get from the backside, put your fiberglass on there, you know, make it pretty thick, and then let it get hardened up, and then all you gotta do is pull the pins on this door and drop the door out of there, and then get inside of there and start carving that out just a little bit at a time. And as you're trying to open the door, you see a new spot you need to carve out, so take the door off, carve it out, put it back on, and pretty soon you end up carving it out, you know, to where you can open up the door. And then it's a matter of putting Bondo on there and over that fiberglass that you made, and getting a fine-tuned shape that you want. It's a pretty tricky spot to make look halfway good, and so this part of the door is actually taller. The body is taller than the door there, to try and bring that up so you don't see that scoop. So anyway, I hope that helps as far as figuring out how to do that. Everything fits good, all the accessories. Everything shuts nice. Everything lines up. So, time to hit it, I believe. I am waiting for the wing still, the wing mount, so I can put the wing on. And then finish the screens back here. Finish the holes for the exhaust. But that can be done anytime, so we'll move on.